when they were doing their presentation, because sometimes it's a little overwhelming being up on the stage or doing public speaking, right? And so I'm going to put in my first ask for you guys as a community. I see a lot of familiar faces and I see a lot of new people coming to the room, but we are looking to get 50 subscribers on our Detroit Metro YouTube channel. So it's 1 Million Cups Detroit Metro. That's our channel. Once we get 50 subscribers, right, we're 1/5 of the way there. We have 12 right now. Then we can do YouTube live stream. And the reason we want to do YouTube live stream is because the Kaufman Foundation is about to make the Zoom aspect go away. They believe that we should always be meeting in person, that some of us stragglers that are still doing hybrid meetings, we should really be encouraging people to come in person, which works out great for our community. We have a large group of people that come here every week and we're grateful to see you. But we still want to make that hybrid aspect available. So if you have access to YouTube, even if you're, not even really like checking it or whatever, we really would appreciate the subscription, subscribing to our channel, because once we get to 50, then we can just set up a cell phone from any one of our volunteer organizers and do that live streaming, and then that recording will just go right onto YouTube for our presenters. So on that note, I have my laptop up here with the webcam, and we're just practicing what that looks like today. So we don't have anybody on.
And it looks fine. I'm actually on it.
It's looking, oh, you're on it? That looks fine. I just have a marker here, and so, this is what it is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Everyone got their coffee?
Yeah.
It's awesome. So 1 million cups really literally means it takes 1 million cups of coffee or whatever your preferred beverage is to make all those connections to keep your business, sustainable and thriving. How many people in here are small business startups? Small business startups. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sure there's more. Thank you, Curtis, for put your hand up. How many people here are working for a business? Working for a business. I'm doing that too. All right. How many people in the room have been here before? Let's show that by raising of hands, right? To help the people who are new to see who keeps coming back. And then how many people are here for the very first time? Ready, David? How many people are here for the very first time? So thank you for coming. Hold your hands up, because if you're here for the first time, we give a special gift on the house from 1 Million Cups to people who are coming for their first time. Until we run out of these business journals, we'll be handing those out to people. So thank you guys for being first timers. So this is how 1 Million Cups works. This is what makes us different from any other type of pitch type of an event. It's the fact that we don't pitch, right? We're not pitching. I can hear my P's and my B's on this microphone to tell you guys. So we are all about supporting that small business and helping them, overcome obstacles they might be stuck in. So this is how our format's going to go today for the few new people and for the people who've heard this before. We're going to, I'm going to tell you one more thing about 1 Million Cups and how to be a presenter. We are looking for organizers to join our team, specifically in the marketing role, and you wouldn't be the only one, but we do need some help with managing like one small aspect of each one of our socials. And so if you're interested in being a organizer, all that takes is a 1 hour a week meeting, maybe 1 hour a week of helping us with that one aspect of marketing, and then coming to this event whenever you feel like it. Okay, so that's my plug for organizers. How do I do? Organizers, kids, raise your hand, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us in the room right now, and I think we have 10 total. In
13.
We have 13 total in our group. All right, and then so I'm going to talk about 1 Million Cups for 1 more minute, which is, and then we're going to pass the mic to our coffee sponsor. So anyone in the room that wants to sponsor coffee, that means you're buying coffee for 40 to 50 people. And then you get a couple minutes to pitch your business on the microphone, right? So that's not a presentation. You don't have to be a coffee owner. You can literally say who your business is and what you're doing and pitch it to the room. Then after that, we introduce our speakers, and we only have one speaker typically per community, unless they're a team. Like today, we have a team, and they get 5 to 10 minutes to present their business. When I say present, I mean, right, just say who you are, the problem you're resolving, kind of what niche you're in, and where you're stuck as a business owner. Not necessarily stuck, but there's things that are too close to you that you're not necessarily able to overcome in the next week or month or by the end of the year. So you're going to ask the community to help support you with this big question. And then you guys get to come up and take the mic and offer suggestions to our presenter. The reason we use mics in here is because of our reporting. Some other communities are smaller and it's just, conversational. And then what I would love you to pay attention to if you come up and offer suggestions to our speakers is that you're offering experiences, right? You're offering like a suggestion that maybe is coming from something that's happened to you before. It's not just off the top of your head. Maybe it's a collaboration with yourself, or maybe it's somebody that you know in the community that you can just come up on the mic and say, hey, I know somebody. I'm saying this on the microphone for you and for anyone else in the room who can help you with this. Right, so the whole idea is like experiential support, not you should do this, you should do this, right? No one wants to get shit on at our.
Whoa,
I just want to make sure you guys are listening. Are you listening? Okay, good. All right. So, and then once the presenters are done, about 5-10 minutes before 10 o'clock, we allow our community sponsor, which is Oakland Thrive, is going to get 2 talking points today, whatever you want to do with that. And then we do a group photo. We do the group photo. You don't have to be in it, but we like it to be in it because then we make that the thumbnail on our YouTube channel. So I think I wrapped it all up and I tied that up with a bow for you. So the last thing I'm going to do before I pass the phone to our coffee sponsor, which is Drake's company today, well, his company he works for today, is I want to thank our venue. So our venue is Incubizo. Incubizo is a community workspace within this building and the building next door. Is Carmen in the room somewhere hiding? She's going to be back in.
For a second, she said she'll be back.
So Incubizo will allow anyone who's here for 1 million cups anytime that you come to stay for the rest of the day and use this workspace. So just, remember that when you come, and if you're bringing a friend, or if you want to set up meetings afterwards, just talk to Carmen or Josh who manage this space, and you could either meet in this building or the building across the street. And with that, I'm going to pass it over. Oh no, one more thing. If you want to present, 1millioncups.com/present. And then you go to Detroit and you sign up to present. There's 3 or 4 questions, and then you'll get to see how that rolls. All right, I'm done. Passing it to you. Come on. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, and good morning, everyone. It is great to be here. It's great to be here every Wednesday. This has really become a crusade, and that as shown by the folks that continue to come back week after week after week. And there's just something really compelling about hearing the business stories about the stories and the journeys of entrepreneurs and small businesses in this community. And as one of Oakland Thrive's 15 small business consultants that fan out throughout the county, I'm happy that we are the premier sponsor of the Detroit Metro 1 Million Cups program. And I think we're moving on to 7 months of having it stood up as a program after it had been defunct for a while. We're happy that it is come back stronger than it was in its last iteration. And what we do as Oakland Thrive, we are, for those of you who are not aware of what we do, we are a support arm to the Oakland County Economic Development Department. And we basically provide one-on-one business consultation to small businesses, solopreneurs, and entrepreneurs throughout Oakland County. I cover Novi, South Line, Wixom, and there's another city up in New Hudson. And so we have consultants that go throughout all of the different cities of Oakland County. So what you heard somebody mention the QR codes, and I was debating with my colleague Saidi on the handwritten ones versus the QR code. I said we can really give everybody if we have them write it down, but we don't know who used the QR code. But we're asking that everyone please graciously just please sign in using the QR code, because that information is very important for us to be able to continue to even justify being a sponsor of this program, and for us to be able to follow up with you to help you with the services that you may be in need of. And so today, we are, like Biggie Small said, we are the client and the president, because not only are we the premier sponsor, but we are the coffee sponsor. I don't normally get up to talk about Oakland Thrive, but thank you, Melissa, for having us be the coffee sponsor. And
It's not Melissa. Just saying, it's not.
and so I'm not going to, keep it going. I think I'm going to give the mic back to you, and you're going to call up our. We do have a presenter today.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, all right. Well then, let's go.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right. Thank you to Oakland Thrive for being our supplier. Not only our coffee, we're offering our coffee and buying everybody's coffee today. All right, so our presenters today is Monarch Coaching. Ladies, you can come on up here. They're going to be telling us who they are, what problem they're solving, and then they're going to ask a community question. They do have a slide deck, so if you're in a spot where you can't see the TV, you can move it, or not. It's up to you. We try to do our best to make it a little more accessible today. And they'll have 5 to 10 minutes to present. And then if you'd like to offer them suggestions or experiences, if you could come up over to this side right here where I'm standing so that they can still be on Zoom, and then you'll have a mic and they'll have a mic and they'll who gets the mic first? You want to go?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. Before we start the introduction, if you allow that, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Okay, awesome. So I want you to think back on someone who inspired you. Think about what that person did or said that helped you realize something within yourself you didn't even know you had. A skill or talent you now believe in because they saw your potential and helped develop. Maybe it was a family member, a colleague, a manager, a leader. Somebody saw that potential in you. Think about the person, open your eyes. Thank you for participating. So that's what we want everyone to experience in their life, but especially in their jobs, where studies show that we spend 90,000 hours in average. Now imagine that. Just think about that number, 90,000 hours working. And we believe we all deserve a transformational leader. And that's what we in Monarch Coaching, we do. We develop leaders, we create leaders that create and leave lasting and positive impact.
So why we do this? So a little bit of background about Erika and myself. We actually started out on the leadership development company for a Forbes 500 company. So when we were networking and talking with friends and family, we realized that what we did was very unique. Not a lot of companies invest in leadership development. And two of the things that we realized was particularly post-pandemic, mid-level managers were not getting the guidance and resources and the same support that, let's say, executives or VPs were getting. So they've got their coaches, they have their individual training, but the mid-level managers, the people on the front lines, were getting pennies. They weren't getting anything. So we saw a huge gap in that. And we also just saw an overall lack of investment in leadership development from organizations in general. So what we do is we help and go into organizations and we implement a process, which we'll share in just a moment, that helps create empathetic, authentic, and accountable mid-level management leaders so they can have a very positive and uplifting culture. And that kind of brings us to the name of Monarch Coaching. Obviously, the transformational piece is the butterfly, the caterpillar to the butterfly, but we also focus a lot on the butterfly effect. So we're not about going into organizations and just doing a complete 180 and flipping everything on its head. What we actually want to do is create very small incremental changes daily that are easy for leaders to implement that will help them transform and leave a very lasting impact on their company culture and their employees.
So our main product, simply put, is we offer a 6-month online leadership program. It has 11 online self-paced online courses, and each one of them is accompanied with a coaching session. So what it makes us special, and Olga was asking this earlier, because we have a lot of companies out there with online packages, with coaching sessions. What it makes us special is we actually, during those individual coaching sessions, we are reinforcing the content that they learn. So we are holding them accountable. The organization don't have to do it. We are holding those leaders accountable, that they're doing everything, the facilitation guides that we have in those trainings, the resources that we share, but we also tailored that coaching session to their specific needs. Because as leaders, we have different personalities in our team, so we make sure that we tailor that content to their specific and unique needs as well. And we incorporate company vision, values, and goals. So we make sure that we're streamline the company culture, because again, it comes from the top, but also we need the middle level managers, leaders, how we call them, to helps us with the culture, the organization culture. So yes, they are being developed by Monarch Coaching, but they are going to be the ones developing their team members.
So let's talk about pricing. So we do have a free option through Monarch Coaching. We actually have a Monarch leadership community. It's like an online community. Think of it kind of as a Facebook group, but it's actually housed through our website. So if you are interested in joining this for free, you can always talk to us afterwards. We do have a QR code at the end too. So that's my shameless plug there. But we also, for the 6-month program Erika was talking about, we have a individual user price point of $2,300. 6-month program, they have 11 courses, 12 coaching sessions, so 2,300 we thought was a fair price point. And we do have a 10-user subscription, but we're also looking for the 20-user subscription is what, you know, the bread and butter is, right? So it's just under $40,000 for a 20-user subscription for this. They actually get the program for a year. So they have 12 months access to all of this, but we encourage people to complete it in 6 months for the best results.
So here is our biggest challenge and our biggest ask for all of you. So we need to get in front of our ideal customer. So a little bit about our ideal customer. We are looking into be in front of startup founders, ages between 25 to 45, and quickly scaling where they have between 5 to 1,000 employees. And maybe they're in Series A funding where they have between 2 to 15 million. So before that, these are the things that we have tried. We have offered companies to pilot the program for free, just to like see how it works. So for example, if you have 10 leaders, we offer to 2 of them and see if this is something that fits in their culture and in their development. We have been in different podcast interviews to establish our credibility, but we still want to be in more of them to talk about leadership, especially social media marketing. We post in Instagram, especially in LinkedIn. And we talk again about leadership, where we provide resources and talk about the why of leadership and the importance. Again, as Taylor mentioned, we have a free online leadership community with we hope to have advocates. So this is free. We provide resources. We have once a month meetups. So we usually facilitate content, something that helps them to develop their leadership skills to leaders and aspiring leaders as well. And we attend live events and such as Boston. We went to set up Boston Week, and we went to Michigan Tech Week as well.
Okay, so here's what we learned from these things. So when we were piloting, full disclosure, we weren't quite piloting to our ideal customer at the time. So we're still open to trying this, and we still are actually trying this. For podcasts, they're great. They're local. We were on the Royal Oak Chamber of Commerce podcast. They're just not really marketed towards our ideal client. So if anyone knows of any podcasts that we could potentially get on, that would be great. Specializing in, you know, company culture, leadership, that kind of thing. Social media marketing. So we don't pay for ads or anything. So this is all organic and very grassroots marketing. But we did just make a recent shift within the last 2 weeks or so to focus more on LinkedIn as opposed to Instagram. So if you follow us on Instagram after this, we're very prevalent on there. We just made a shift to post more frequently on LinkedIn because that's where our customer lives. And then for the online community, it is great for building brand advocates and building relationships with people who might potentially be customers in the future, but right now it hasn't generated any leads. And then for the live events, these have been very fruitful for us as far as making the right connections. However, one of our stuck points is that we don't have the proof and the data to really solidify that this is something that works for startups. So that's kind of been the challenge as well, is kind of nurturing those leads. It takes a while for them to buy into what we're doing when there isn't any proof just yet. So.
Yeah, so that is our ask. What ideas do you have for us to help attract our ideal customers to any events, connections, and partnerships that we can make? And we appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Very good.
Right. So we'll give it something good.
Go on up,
Actually, grab my coffee.
Yeah, grab your coffee. You just grab the mic there.
How are you?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, first of all, I'm a WBE. Are you guys a certified WBE?
No,
Not yet.
Okay, you need to run there quick. And here's why, because this is where I've met all my contacts. They have meetings with the top corporations and you get in, you go to the events and you get to talk to them. And I think that's founding your ideal target. So that's number one. Number two, I have a lot of followers on LinkedIn. And the way I did that was I hired several times third-party vendors to go after those people. And the communication back from the people I got on that was excellent. The other thing I do is every time I go to an event like today, I go back, where did I get them from? I connect with them on LinkedIn. I try to do it within 48 hours, but I'm not always successful. And, but anyways, at this point, I'm getting like 1,000 views on certain things. The other thing that I put on my LinkedIn are all my videos. And then it just shows people that are watching you, and maybe you're already doing that, but you know what you're doing. Those would be my suggestions.
Thank you so much.
Can I interject real quick? Because we forgot to share our shiny object syndrome that we have. Sorry, Lynn, that was great and it's very helpful,
Yeah,
but
and actually we thought about that, Lynn, and just the fact that you're mentioning that again, it's just like, it's a thing that, like, we definitely need to get the certification. So yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the shiny object, we have the syndrome, and as entrepreneurs, I'm pretty sure you guys have it as well.
thank you.
We have considered to do monthly webinars, quarterly cohort workshops, so we talk about the transformational series, not just for leaders, but professional development. And having our own podcast and YouTube, we would love to, but we want to have it with good, very good quality, and we will be spending a lot of time as well in that. So I don't know if it is something that we want to invest just yet, but those are the things that we have considered.
Okay, but also being a WB, yes, we definitely can go with that too, and we will jump on that then. Thank you.
Go ahead, Diane.
I used to work as an administrator of a school. And we got a lot of different, we developed a lot of different relationships with the Detroit Chambers of Commerce. Now, that was a while ago, and they actually had a lot of large leaders of large corporations that worked, that would come there as members. So I was thinking, I don't know what city you're targeting or whatever, but if you can target a city that has a chamber that has members with a lot of large corporations or whatever, that may be able to help you to get in a room with those type of people, because I think the most important thing for all of us is to get in the right room.
Yes.
And so you can put yourself there. Sometimes you have to pay to get there or whatever, but get in the right room.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, thank you.
Great job, first off. You're welcome. So I know you all mentioned that you don't feel as though you have enough data or, items backing what you're doing. So I would just challenge you to maybe reconsider your experiences and people you touched in the past, and maybe don't frame it necessarily as you don't have enough data, because you probably do if you rethink the data. So I would say just go after people that you work with, even people in your community. If it's repurpose your content in form of like reviews, you can do videos, you can do all types of things, maybe even sending out surveys. So just kind of leveraging the people, even from your professional experience. I know you might not be able to say, hey, this program directly impacted them, but they still work with you. And that was still your expertise. So I would just challenge you guys to kind of recreate the data.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you, Laura.
Good one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, ladies, doing today.
Very good.
Definitely, my main experience when it comes to leadership is, it's one of those things that you look at how tangible it is and can it be measured. And for the crowd aspect, for me, LinkedIn has been the one social media factor where that's where your target audience is. That's where they showcase their skills, their resume. And that's the first step. I would say definitely if you try and do a podcast, you'll want to think LinkedIn does have a new live feature now where you can do a live feature, build your community in there. And I would say the next thing, look at who's the #1 authority in leadership, John Maxwell.
Yeah.
I would say definitely connect with John Maxwell. And also, I would say the next thing is, I look at the price, your prices are great. You're not overly expensive, because I've seen leadership programs, they start at $15,000-$25,000
For one person.
for one person for a small time period.
Yeah.
I will say, whatever your budget is for your business, kind of cherry pick a diverse group of people and work with them and make them your ambassadors and measure and track their process. So when they're finished, they either say, hey, I worked with Monarch Coaching. I first started, I was only doing $3,000 a month, but after they coaching, now we hit 6 figures a month and we're growing, we're teaching our staff. I think that'll be definitely a step.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much.
Great.
Good morning, ladies. Wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Just
Can I ask you to like stand forward some more, just for?
Good presentation. You were talking about a lot of things organic. I always think I'm a person that says you gotta crack some eggs in the omelet. LinkedIn, social media, yes, but a lot of times I believe that social media, some people believe that you get spammed a lot. So I get a lot of get a lot of clicks and just go back. I believe like sometimes Google, you can pay $5-10 a day for like an SEO pay per clicks. Yes, you use them, you click, and then they're gone for the day. And it does get traffic there because people are looking for coaching.
Yes.
I noticed that you have a cup in your hand. You've been sponsoring 1Million cups. That could be your logo because you've been sponsoring all day, things like that. I know you both love the network. It could have been, I remember this is my second meeting. You could have been passing out like little trinkets to people out here to keep your brand in front of them. So like little things to pass out and put in front of people when you're here networking.
Yeah.
There's two of you. I know you say you're part of the Royal Oak Chamber. So you both look like you can network and work a room. So basically, maybe something to pass out to people who work in Rome while you're looking
We
around.
do have fans and like, we forgot we panicked.
So there you go. Yeah. So
Next time we would.
some passing out,
Yeah.
work the room, having something in front of you. Yeah, like I said, maybe so like I said, Google, or like I said, you can all products and like I said, groceries, something about your business.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hi, good morning. First, you guys did great. I love your presentation. One thing that I'm a little disconnected on when you started the presentation, you talked about your service list and what you're providing. And then the ideal client, for me, there was a disconnect. So I kind of want to understand how the leadership services were you said mid-level managers, and then the ideal client was these founders who are not mid-level managers. So there I found a disconnect. Everything that you're doing is great, the connection part, because that's totally how I would recommend where I work with my clients through the sales. And I'm gonna do a shameless plug, sales evolution presentation today, 11:30. Please join me. That would be the first step of what you're doing, and it's kind of gradual, but optimize that where you are now.
Yeah.
When you're out networking and connecting, but you have to connect with the right client who you're trying to meet. So when you're connecting, if it's mid-level managers, you're speaking their language. Because if you're speaking mid-level manager, but you're talking to a founder, it's not going to.
Yeah. Can I offer some clarity?
Yeah.
So we sell to organizations or founders, but we would work with their mid-level managers. So our end user would be the people that they're hiring to maybe manage their sales team or do their marketing or whatever, whoever has direct reports, but we wouldn't necessarily put the founders through, if that makes sense.
No, that totally makes
Okay.
sense. That totally makes sense. But also what I see is who's going to advocate?
be the advocate for you, and that will be the manager. So you need to speak to them and give them the ammunition they need, for their founder the right to check to you.
Okay, yeah, 100%. I totally understand what you're saying.
That's where I'm coming from. So when you're out and about, you're saying those key words to them that they take back to them to get the check, to give to you.
I completely, yes, agree with that, just because those leaders, the mid-level leaders, they want the training, right? It's the organization, it's like just, we need to help, what you're saying, or what I'm understanding is, we need to help them to sell that to their CEOs, senior leaders, and say, hey, we need leadership development. Even HR companies, they know that their leaders need the help, but they don't know how to tell the organization, hey, this is gonna help us in a tangible way in the future. But if people is first, we need to put them first with development. So yes, we need to create something to help
Yeah,
the leaders in the community.
Just drop it so nuggets to give them, to give back, to give them.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was great.
Good. So oh, yes. Good morning, everybody. So I have done, much smaller, workshops, but I have found that in settings like this, there's like a 5-minute piece of it, you can teach, and the other things you could all use, right? But there's a section of the workshop that here just to teach in these settings. That goes a long way to getting the people who are gonna tell the other people to be excited about it, get excited about it.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's, we have like, one of the shiny objects that we had was we were trying to do a lot of workshops that we're trying to focus, and shiny object syndrome is like, you're just like, oh, squirrel, like there's something over there. And a lot of entrepreneurs have that, especially when there's so many different aspects to do. So we're trying to focus on sales, but, that is a route for sales for sure, is to get our content out there. Yeah.
Hello, it is again. So today we heard a lot of dry facts of what you do and what you charge and how you do. But we all know that, facts sell and stories sell. So you haven't told us any transformational stories that we can really feel through us and become a part of you. So we don't know how to go out and sell you, because all we remember is you do business coaching and how much it costs. And we might forget those things too. But if you tell us stories that we can connect and say, I was here, I got here, or we help management to free up their time so they don't have to focus on their staff, because all of a sudden we are doing that for them and they able to perform a little better. So there is an excellent book called Story Brand, and it's you can listen to it on YouTube and whatnot, but it's all about storytelling. And storytelling is very powerful. As we all know, we love stories, right? We don't want to be bored, we want stories. And also do video production, but in storytelling. We want to see point A, we want to see point B, we want to hear the struggles, we want to see the transformation. We want to know how it looks like when we go through your program, and where do we arrive, and just to know when we do arrive, where else we want to go from there. But this is not the final destination.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just to be clear with Olga, we don't pitch here, but that would be in a pitch, like to share your presentation and take us along a story of your transformational, like that wouldn't happen at these events. But that's great advice, just to keep you in mind on understanding how that process works. So you said the right thing, but this event, that's why we're different, because you get to present as a business owner where you're struggling as a business owner. Daryl, you have something?
Just real quick, you talked about podcasts. Walsh and the Troy Chamber has a podcast that might fit what you guys are looking for, because it's more focused on leadership and transformational journeys. So that's one you may want to take a look at.
Yeah, you said Walsh and
College and Troy Chamber.
Detroit Regional Chamber.
Troy
Troy
Chamber.
Regional Chamber have podcasts that might be more along your demographic. Rick, do you have something to share with them? No?
No, sure.
Yeah. Right. Anyone else have some suggestions for their helping them to attract their ideal customer? We still have time.
We do have a second question.
Okay.
Our challenge.
All right, we'll get to that. We can help us. Here you go.
Sorry, I forgot about this. Whenever you finish with a client, this is what I do. And I get 3 to 4 referrals a month from this. When I'm done with the client, I have an automatic email that asks them to survey me. And then I have a link to my online Google business, and then you go and rate me. And then you need to put it in the city where you're located, so you'll be, if you start collecting enough of these, you'll be the #1 referral in your community.
So the caveat to that is that we are not a physical business with a brick and mortar, so we are all online and virtual, and Google does not allow for that, because I have looked into Google Business, and you have to have a physical location for that.
I put my city I lived in personally, but.
Yeah, it's, when I was doing it, it was asking for an address, and like, it's, my personal.
You know what, executive, like this organization,
Yeah,
you can generally pay for your address here.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
right, and then you can come and use this facility when you need it, so that would go hand in hand with that. So I would pick a community where your majority of your clients currently work. Executive suite.
Thank you, Lynn.
How much time did you guys spend on thinking about complementary businesses to yours? So like, how do you partner with some businesses that do different than what you do, but have the same type of target demographic? Maybe there's, the skill set that business is looking for would work with yours. Is that something you spent much time on?
We are just thinking about both. We are just thinking about partnership. So even with HR companies, so they help the funders to fund their clients, to fund the new employees. And sometimes those funders are asking them for leadership training as well, but they don't provide that. So that is a good partnership that we can start creating. The thing with us is like how we get in front of them. We're still like with the funders, how we get in front of them and validate what we do and have that credibility.
But I think back to like when I started my business, when you have no like track record going, right? I worked with people that I knew, and that's probably where your first client's gonna come from. So I'm sure you're already spending time doing that. I would continue to focus on probably the people that know you, that are more likely to, give you a chance to work with you, so that you have data you can put on your website and things like that.
Thank you. Thanks.
I just want to know on your online, leadership, are you guys the ones conducting the leadership videos on there? Okay, I just wanted to know, because I was just thinking to myself that maybe you can take snippets of those and make them into mini commercials and start posting those regularly on different social media sites in order to help. Then even if you don't have a track record, a lot of times, I guess if people are seeing you frequently and often, they can fall in love with you and say, okay, I would like to work with that.
Yeah.
Those two behaviors there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. All right. Any other suggestions? We do have another challenge for you. Let's see who's ready.
Let's hear it.
All right. So, is it not clicking? City, can we go to the next? You can. Okay.
It's not going, so, what is it?
I know. I was like, wait, what is there's so many of them. Who knows? Okay, so we are looking for help in an area that we're not quite experts in. So Erika and I come from a leadership development and a learning and development background, but we don't come from a sales background. And I think someone had mentioned it already with like lead generation. I think you had mentioned that kind of like investing in those kinds of companies. So we just want to know what have you guys done to kind of enhance sales? And I see you coming. Come on up here. And is it worth it to invest in lead gen? We've looked at some of the things that we've tried just before we get to you real quick. Some of the things that we tried have been partnering with like lead gen companies, digital marketing companies, like from the Philippines, you can hire someone very inexpensively, but they do very quality work. And we are also considering partnering with local colleges for interns because we don't have a ton of extra cash right now. So we're looking for the least expensive, but biggest bang for our little buck that we can get. But yeah, that's the ask. Did you wanna?
Oh, yeah.
Come on up.
I was sitting there totally thinking about this, and I only knew, as it wasn't your challenge, so I wasn't gonna mention it.
Yeah.
But one of the things I would recommend to everybody, including you, because I was gonna ask, have you been through any formal sales training? No, formal. So, no, formal, informal, some things are informal, even picking up a sales book, that is informal, but applying those techniques, I would highly recommend that as if you believe in education and leadership training, sales training as a business owner, to go through a sales training program. Again, I am doing a presentation today at 11:30 in Parktown about sales. So the evolution there, especially for small business owners, if you're under $1 million, under 6 figures, this will be the perfect opportunity to do that. But I highly, recommend just pouring into yourself, sales tactics, sales techniques, and getting into environments to present. And I say sales, and I know sales, and this is actually part of my presentation too, is think of it more as serving. How can you be of service to them? But under the library, when you go to the library, you have to go out to sales. It doesn't say service. So just keep that in mind. But that would be the only thing I would say, is just get into the habit of pouring into yourself, that you have it in your leadership training throughout the year, your professional development is sales.
Yeah. Yes. So about that, thank you. Yeah. It's your first time here? Yeah, come on.
Oh, yeah.
I know, sorry. You're in good company.
My mentor, so I'm the same prime agent and agent for 4 years previously.
We can't hear you. I lifted up the.
Sales consultant, branch manager.
Okay.
I would highly recommend what you talked about, is because even if you have a company, even if you have a company that you're gonna outsource your sales, what are you gonna outsource it to? So you really need to take up that. And then also, I know you said that financially, you may not have all the resources available, but sometimes you have to borrow. You definitely need, if you look at understand your rate of return on them, that's really work.
Yeah.
Something that you need to say.
No, definitely. Yes, thank you.
Ferguson.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone else have any sales suggestions for Monarch coaching? I thought so, Darren.
That's the dean of sales right there.
This has got a couple of years of sales experience, but you may want to look for someone in the industry that already has contacts. Hire them as a salesperson, whether it's a 1099 or whether you go out and you get funding to fund your sales efforts, but find someone who has the type of contacts or has the access to the type of people that you really want to connect to. That's very, very important. But also, if you're going to hire a company, make sure you understand exactly what you want out of them, that their scripts are tailored to exactly what you're looking for, and that they can find the type of people that you want to connect to. But as a salesperson, and if you've watched any sales movies, it's the, ABC always be closing, it's always be selling. A company is like a baby. Everybody has a beautiful baby. You have a beautiful company, and I love what you do, and always be prepared to talk to people about what you do, why you do it, and what the value is. Because your best sales or your best leads are people that you run into when you're in the grocery store, when you're out shopping, when you're at an event, and they ask, what do you do for a living? I'm glad you asked. Here's the value that I bring to my clients. So always remember those tips.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. As you're educating your people through your social media and through the events that you're going to, that's a type of sales. Like you can just continue to educate, and somebody's gonna say to you, hey, how do I work with you? You're gonna go, oh, that's a sale.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. We'll give another person. Come on up here.
Just, it's a question, it's not a sales.
Come up here, because you don't have to, just to,
Not the first time or two.
you know, just to be honest, you haven't been here before, if they hear
Alright,
that.
another round of applause for a newcomer.
So, okay. So, my question is, you have clients right now? And have you done any of this so far? Some practice from out there?
Yes, so we do have one client right now, to transparency, with Kresge Foundation, which is a great.
Awesome, yeah.
So, we're like, love what we're doing, and she will, but yes, we have one right now, but we have tested all of this with a variety of different people, which we were saying earlier when we were piloting it, we were piloting with like a lot of business owners, but not people who were scaling quickly and not really people that had teams. But we do have individualized feedback and testimonials, which have all been glowing reviews, but we need to see the proof with actual companies. Yeah,
Second question for you, have you worked with any nonprofit organizations?
not yet.
We worked with War Memorial, the War Memorial. And we did about 20 in-person workshops. So we shifted to online, just because it's more sustainable and it's a little bit more affordable as well. And for us, it's easier and good with the planet because we don't spend on paper, we don't spend footprint, yes. But we worked with that organization as well. We did their development for 6 months. We went there and we did several workshops.
Okay, so I have a growing nonprofit organization, right? And so this is interesting to me because we're evolving, and so, you know, this sounds interesting to me, right? So, yeah, be interested in.
We're gonna be in touch. And what was your name?
Oh, really bad.
Billy.
And the organization is Family Assistance for Red Sox.
Oh, okay.
Farm is the area.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna be in touch.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you.
Billy's a fan. All right, love it. Thank you.
Nice job.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The last thing, we are social butterflies. So we are in present in LinkedIn, Instagram, and that is our website. If you have anything that maybe you didn't share with us right now, just we are open to talk with you and meet with you. We appreciate you so much. And yes, we're Monarch Coaching, and we are all here for you as well. Thank you.
Thanks for on the wire line. So, okay, well, thank you guys for your attention. This has been really great. There are a couple things from this meeting today I'm just gonna do as a reminder. One, the Monarch Coaching did an amazing job, right? You're presenting your business and a struggle that you have. It's really difficult to come up here and be vulnerable and have to not sound like the experts that you know you are in your heart and your mind. But we're a safe community, right? We're a fun group, we're casual. We want you to present, we want to hear what you're doing and how you're doing it and how we can help you. So just if you would like to be a presenter in our group, if you have already been a presenter, you can come back after 6 months and present again. So 1millioncups.com/present and go to our community. If you've already presented here in the last couple of months, you can present in Ann Arbor, 1millioncups.com Ann Arbor, right? I want to remind you again, we're looking for organizers in the marketing role for our group. And if you haven't checked in yet, if you can scan on the QR code, and that's it. Now we're going to have our Thrive community sponsor, Tracy or Daryl. They're going to talk about, they get a couple minutes at the end of the meeting to talk about what Thrive is and how they help this community. Again, we're a volunteer organization. 1 Million Cups is our organizers are not just Thrive organizers, although they do sit on the committee. Just letting you know that. And we're going to take a group picture right afterwards with the Monarch people so that we can put it on our YouTube channel. So thank you all for coming, and I'm going to pass the mic to Daryl.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Thank you so much, Monarch. You guys did an amazing job today. I look forward to seeing you back in 6 months when you hear from success. Good feedback and all these good suggestions to help you continue to grow and scale your business. So again, just want to talk a little bit about what we do at Oakland Thrive. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and again, we do work through Oakland County Economic Development to help small businesses here. Across the county, there are 15 of us. If you are a Oakland County business and you're looking for assistance for your business, whether it's legal, whether it's trademarking, intellectual property, marketing, any of those types of services, we can assist you. So please introduce yourself to us before you leave here today so we can make sure that we can get you on our system and we can get you some assistance. One of the things that we also offer we offer experts in every field, and some of those experts are in the room today. We heard from one, Tisha Mulvin, and we also want to hear from Lynn Gray, who is one of our newer partners, and she has a giveaway. So I'm going to invite Lynn real quick to talk a little bit about what she does, what she's giving away today. And then we have some events that are coming up this week that Tracy's going to share with us as well. These are again part of the programs that we offer, some of the value that we offer our clients.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Lynn Drake. I'm the owner of a company called Compass Commercial. We work exclusively with business owners, helping them to lease or purchase commercial real estate. I have been with the organization for maybe 6 weeks at this point. I've already had 4 clients come through my office, and I thought I would share with you some of the things that we've helped. The first client that came through was a dentist getting ready to sell his practice or lease out his building. I went in and I completed a broker opinion of value for him, so he now knows what his building is worth to sell. I also created a list of other buildings for lease in the market, so he knows how to lease if he does sells the practice to somebody, how much to charge. Another client that came to me is working with a franchisor, and they're bringing a new concept to the Detroit market. And he was specifically looking for no buy. They have been out in the market looking for buildings for 6 months with no success. Within 5 days, I identified 6 buildings ready to move into in the market. So he should be moving out much quicker because the buildings they already have the restaurant equipment there, and they're the right size, and they were in his budget, and I actually found one in his ideal building. So that's another example of what I do. So anyways, I help, like I said, I don't represent landlords. I felt a conflict of interest. I am one of only 3 brokerage firms in the market that only does this type of representation. So I don't take listings, is basically what it gets down to. And I don't have to try to win the landlords to like me because I really don't care. Although I like them, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to cow up to them, so to speak. Anyways, so I have 2 books that I've written. One is called Do You Speak Lease? It goes through the process that a business owner goes through if they want to lease space. And then I have Do You Speak Purchase? And it also goes through the same process. So I'm going to give one of these away. So I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 500. And whoever comes up closest but not over wins the books. So if anybody wants to give me numbers.
245. 7.
3 on that.
4.
311.
314.
450. Oh,
1. 420.
588.
488.
500.
Yeah.
319.
Okay. The number is 339. Who's closest to that didn't go over?
I have 309.
Okay, you got it. All right.
Somebody.
319. Okay.
Perfect, okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. 319. Wait, no, sorry. Tracy, want to go?
Good morning, everyone. All right, last part. All right, so tonight we have a workshop on getting ready for lenders for your business. Why is this important? All right, so you wouldn't think about purchasing a car or a home without getting finance in your pocket, would you? No, you're not gonna pay cash for it. You're not gonna pay out of your pocket. Most can't. So this workshop helps you get prepared in order to get funding for your business. Help you scale. Maybe you want to lease, purchase property, just like Lynn was discussing. Maybe you need to scale. So that workshop is going on tonight, this evening, 4 o'clock.
Oakland County Community College, Southfield campus. So hopefully you'll make it. And the next one is tomorrow, Southfield Public Library. It's the topic of the hour, well, at least today. Storytelling. All right, why is that important for your brand? Think about all the times that you wanted to support a business, an organization, an initiative based on the story that you heard. And you were like, I want to support them. I want to purchase from them. Think about how you can do that to attract your clients, how to change that and turn that into content for your business. Think about how you can create curiosity and sales for your business, storytelling. That is tomorrow, 5:30, Southfield Public Library. Alante Taylor from A. Taylor Media is going to present. He does a phenomenal job. And of course, we're gonna have snacks, gotta have snacks. So if you want further information, register, scan the QR code, and see you tonight.
And those events are,
Okay, and both events are
Free.
free. That's the best price ever. So,
That sounds
all
like
right, thank you guys.
That sounds like 99 cents.
$3.90.
thank you, Tracy. You can also find these events on our website, oaklandpride.org.